Hey everyone, it's Pastor Ben. I hope you're having an awesome Wednesday morning. I just wanted to give you a quick update. This last Monday, Governor Reynolds lifted the restrictions on church services. So our elders, we had a meeting last night to decide what that would look like going forward. And we decided that in order to properly implement and communicate strict social distancing practices to ensure a safe environment for everyone, we were going to wait a week before we have in-person services. So we will still be having online services this Sunday, May 3rd, but then we will be having our first in-person services again on May 10th. Now let me talk a little bit about what those will look like when we do get back together on May 10th. Before anyone gets in their car and heads over to the church, first, if you feel like you are high risk, if you are just not comfortable with gathering like that, that is totally fine. We will still be offering online services for you. Please feel no obligation to come to those in-person services. We'll still be providing online services as well, especially if you're showing symptoms like a fever or a cough. We ask that you feel no obligation to come to those in-person services. And when you do come to those in-person services, obviously we'll be greeting one another with a friendly wave or smile, but we won't be shaking hands or hugging. Also, as you make your way into the sanctuary, we will not be offering fellowship time, nor will we be offering Sunday school. We'll just be going into the sanctuary and begin worship. And when you do get into the sanctuary, we'll have specific spots marked out for where you can sit in order to maintain distance, a 6-foot distance between each individual family unit. And then as we take communion and offering, obviously those will look different as well, including communion stations for you to go up and approach and serve yourself, and offering being taken as you go in and go out. But that's what we'll be looking at. There will be another video a little bit later today announcing in a little bit more detail what those in-person services will look like. And again, we're not going to be having services this week. We're going to be waiting a week until May 10th to be having our first in-person services. I'm very, very excited about that prospect. And so we want to make sure we do everything necessary to ensure a safe and healthy environment for everyone who wants to participate in that. But we're going to continue our study this morning on the Lord's Prayer. If you'll remember, on Monday we started this study with going line by line through the Lord's Prayer and how we can implement the elements of the Lord's Prayer into our own prayers life. And so we looked at that first line, our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, and how in our prayer life we need to incorporate praying the Father's character. Jesus, in two very broad scopes, encapsulates these dual nature of God, this almost paradoxical nature of God being both this intimate personal Father, but also an all-powerful creator in heaven. And so he combines both of those elements and describes God's character, and that's how he opens up his prayer, and that's how we should be opening up our prayer as well, spending time recognizing and praising the character of God. The next line in the Lord's Prayer that I want to focus on today is the line, your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. I think that's a line that we could pray consistently over and over and over again throughout our day. Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. I feel like that should be our gut reaction whenever we encounter some broken part of our world, because we live in a very broken world. If you don't know, you can always turn on your television or look at a news app and you can read the latest headline, and you will see that we live in an incredibly broken world. And so whenever we read those headlines or we encounter these moments, we hear these heartbreaking stories of individuals who are being hurt or affected by sin and pain in this world, our response should be this prayer, your kingdom come, God's kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. And so today in your prayer time, I would encourage you to look at our world and all the brokenness in it. Maybe there's a specific type of brokenness that is affecting you personally, or maybe there's just a brokenness that has you concerned, or there's just a brokenness that seems to be in the news a lot recently. I want you to take that brokenness, I want you to lay it before the Father, and I want you to pray this prayer. God's kingdom come, God's will be done on earth as it is in heaven, because that is our solution to that kind of brokenness. We don't place our hope in everything going back to normal. That's not going to fix anything. We don't place our hope in a specific political agenda. That's not going to fix anything. The only solution that we place our hope in to all the brokenness that we're currently encountering is God's kingdom to come and His will to be done on earth as it is in heaven. And we know that if that were to take place, if God's kingdom were to come and His will were to be done on earth as it is in heaven, it would fix and make whole all the brokenness we may be encountering, no matter how severe that brokenness may seem right now. And so, I want you to walk through, again, all the brokenness that seems to be really sticking out to you right now. And I want you to walk through all those different parts of the world. Maybe you're specifically hurting for those who are ailing and sick during this time. Maybe you're hurting for those who are in broken homes. And I want you to take those elements and I want you to pray God's will be done, God's kingdom come and His will be done on earth as it is in heaven over those who are ailing. I want you to take a moment and pray that God's kingdom would come and His will would be done on earth as it is in heaven over those in broken homes, or whatever other form of brokenness that seems to be really jumping out at you right now. Let's take a moment and pray that God's kingdom would come and His will be done on earth as it is in heaven, because that is what we place our hope. That is the solution that will fix all things and make all things new. I hope that's encouraging, and I hope you have a vibrant prayer time this morning as we pray the Father's character, and now we pray for the Father's kingdom. I'll see you on Friday. Bye.